Portents of Fear is a horror fiction podcast which is intended for mature audiences. Discretion is advised. Welcome, Fearlings, to another weird and horrifying tale made just for you. I am your host, Michulhu, and I'll be your guide into the macabre and mysterious. In tonight's story, we learn about enclosed spaces in Crushed. Before we get started, take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single terrifying story. The alarm went off at an ungodly hour. Travis hit the snooze and rolled back over. 10 more minutes. All he needed was 10 more minutes. If he could have lived in that bed, he would have. Travis worked out every night. It was his process. He'd work out and then work on his script. He was cut. He kept his brown curly hair and beard closely shaved. His skin was deep brown, and he was 5'5", the shortest of his family. "Time to wake up, Grumpy Bear," Amanda said. She'd already gotten up, taken a shower, and eaten, but she was a morning person, which also made her the devil at this hour. Her skin was ivory, her eyes blue, her long golden hair was done up in a bun, no makeup save for a hint of mascara and lip gloss. She stood half a foot taller than Travis. She had a class at the hospital, so she wore her unicorn scrubs. "I don't want to," he whined. She bent over him, getting close to his ear. She smelled like roses. "Come on, you gotta get up and find that honey," she whispered. Amanda was studying to be a pediatrician. Some of her classes were at the downtown children's hospital. She'd be starting her residency in 6 months, just after graduation. It had been a long 12 years to get to this point. "You're all the honey I need. Let me sleep," he said back, knowing full well she wouldn't. Morning people hate letting others sleep. There were things to do. "I wish I could, but it's a big day and you can't be late. Come on, Grumpy Bear. If you get up, I'll let you have my picnic basket later tonight," Amanda purred. She gently kissed the back of his neck, sending a shiver down his spine. It was a finishing move. She knew him too well. "I hate you," he growled. "You love me more every day. You said so yourself," she beamed. His eyes popped open and he let out all the air in his lungs. "You're right, I do. Fine, I'll get up, but only for your picnic basket." "It's your picnic basket, baby. It always will be. And you can have it any time you want," she smiled as she straightened out and started checking to make sure she had everything. Travis threw his legs over the bed and stood. If only he could spend all day in that warm place with his wife and her picnic basket. He yawned while stretching and took a long look at her. "You're lucky you're gorgeous," Travis joked. "So you just love me for my looks?" she grinned. "Yep, that's it," he grinned back. She went to his side of the bed and embraced him. "I think you're lying," she whispered into his ear. She kissed him on the cheek, and they both smiled at each other. "Good luck today, knock 'em dead." Then she was gone. He looked at the warm bed. It beckoned, but his bladder was now calling the shots. "Damn it," he thought. Travis scanned the boardroom. The wall to the hallway was frosted glass. The rest had wood paneling. The table was one large piece of redwood. The chairs were leather. It all looked very expensive. Everything needed to be perfect. He'd been working towards this day for over 2 years. The easel had 3 large graphic poster boards stacked on top of each other. The first showed a skinny black preteen in an ill-fitting red and blue superhero outfit, with his fist in the air, looking determined. Across the top it said Kid Cannonball in big, bold red comic book letters. Travis thought in-person art would be better than a slide. He ran through what he'd say in his mind, how his character, Herman, aka Kid Cannonball, would be perfect for a cartoon series. The other poster boards showed the other characters. The oblivious dad, the overprotective mother, the coach who loved cats, the mean math teacher with a heart of gold, Cindy his crush, and Dr. Devious, the most dangerous villain ever. He'd written his pitch weeks ago, but rewrote it 100 times. His comic book sold like wildfire. Well, for an indie book, he'd admit. That's how he got this opportunity. It was safe to say a lot was riding on this. If he got the green light for the show, he'd be able to move Amanda and himself into a house. This was LA after all. You need 2 people making a lot of money to afford anything. Just as he put the white cloth over the easel, the door swung open. John Garrett, VP of Production, Fran Tollert, the studio head, and Willow Vasquez, owner and CEO of Studio Gibberish, walked in. It was shocking that Willow Vasquez was here. He hadn't expected the owner to show up. "Travis, good to see you. I trust you know Fran and Willow?" John asked as he shook Travis's hand vigorously. Travis smiled. "I do, but I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Miss Tollert in person before." He smiled at her, and they shook hands. "Please, just Fran. Miss Tollert is my mother," she insisted. She adjusted the glasses on her nose and sat. Fran it is. Willow, it's good to see you again, he said. She put out her fist and he bumped it. Good to see you as well. They all sat and he took his place in front of the easel. All right, Travis, we've seen your work and we're excited to hear what you have for us today, John said. Travis pulled the cloth from the easel and launched into his pitch. Burger Baron, their favorite fast food, was on the way to the hospital. He ordered 2 cheeseburger combos with chocolate shakes and fries. He'd have lunch with Amanda and then go home and worry. It was hard to gauge how he did. They smiled, told him it looked promising, but that they needed to talk, and that was it, 30 minutes flat. Travis never liked going to the hospital. Seeing sick kids was a gut punch. Amanda, though, she had this patience and kindness which were perfect for this type of work. He was proud of her, even if it meant not seeing her as often as he'd like. She was doing important work. He waved to all the familiar faces as he got to the break room. She waited for him. Oh, thank God, food. I'm starving, she proclaimed, grabbing one of the bags. Opening it, she placed her face right above and inhaled like it was a spa treatment or something. Then, without mercy, she dove in. It was like watching a wood chipper, huge bites that would shame a hippo. Travis always wondered how she was able to eat so fast and not choke. She noticed him staring at her. What? She asked with her mouth full. He couldn't take her anywhere, he thought. Nothing, baby. Just, you have some sauce, well, he motioned to her entire mouth. Oh, thanks. And instead of grabbing a napkin like a civilized person would, she tried to use her tongue to lick it all off. She looked half crazed. Here, just use a napkin. He handed her a bunch. Watching you eat is an adventure, like a lioness who stuck her head into a gazelle. You knew what kind of eater I was when we married. How'd it go? No clue. They smiled a lot and spoke in superlatives, so they may have loved it, or they were being nice to get me to leave. We'll just have to wait to find out, Travis said. His phone rang. It's them. That was fast. Hello? Hey, Travis. I didn't want to leave you hanging too long. We all loved your pitch. We'd like to option the show and get it into development right away. How does that sound? Travis waved an excited hand in Amanda's direction. Great. Thank you so much. No, thank you. I think Kid Cannonball is going to be amazing. I'll send the contracts for you to look over with your attorney, and we'll meet you next week to sign the paperwork. Perfect. Talk to you soon. He hung up. I guess I need to find an entertainment lawyer. They both jumped up and hugged. The other people in the break room looked at them like they were crazy. Amanda pulled back just a little. I'm so proud of you, baby. I knew you could do it. This is just the first step. For both of us. You graduate soon. We'll get a house. I couldn't have done this without you. I would have given up a long time ago, so thank you. They kissed and all the energy of the universe shot through them. People started to clap and they both blushed. I have so much to do. I need to go. No, sit and eat. I'm not coming home to a grumpy bear tonight. Yes, ma'am. They sat and ate their burgers. Much later, after some calls to law offices and many friends, Travis and Amanda sat on the couch full from dinner. Oh my God, I ate so much I think I'm going to explode, Travis groaned. The top button on his pants had been undone and the zipper was down. So you're saying I shouldn't have bought cheesecake too, Amanda said. Her blue eyes sparkled. You're the devil. Amanda slid her hands into his jeans and put her lips to his ear. I am for you, baby. They kissed. Forgetting that he just ate a dinner meant for two, he stood quickly, bent down, and lifted her off the couch. Grumpy Bear wants his picnic basket now. He carried her into the bedroom and threw her on the bed. Pre-dawn, around 3:30 a.m., dogs began to howl and birds landed on the ground. The quake erupted under them. The apartment shook violently, jolting the lovebirds from their slumber. Cracks shot up the walls and across the ceiling. Metal groaned and faltered. It all happened within seconds. Before they could react, the upstairs levels pancaked on top of them. Travis coughed violently. He was pinned under debris. A large pocket of air had been created above them by fallen steel beams and furniture. It was pitch black and he could only move one arm slightly. He felt Amanda's hand on his ribs, but she was no longer right up against him. She'd been spooning him when the building collapsed, but something had fallen between them. Baby, you okay? He called out. I don't know. Something hit my head and I can't feel below my waist. It's going to be okay, Travis reassured her, but deep inside he was very scared. My arm is pinned under a beam. Your left hand is on my ribs. Try and move your fingers. She concentrated. Finally, feelings started to creep back. Her fingers wiggled. Good. I'm pinned too, but my left arm is free. A violent shake hit, almost as big as the first. Dust fell from the space above them. Great. Aftershocks. Think that was the big one? Amanda asked weakly. You can't live in California without hearing about the big one, 10.0 on the Richter scale. They'd learned to put it out of their minds, at least till the next earthquake hit. Not sure if it was the big one, but likely, Travis replied. I might be paralyzed. He could hear Amanda hyperventilating behind him. Baby, it's all right. Stay still. You move too much and things could shift above you. We're alive right now. Help is on the way. I'm doing my best. I might have a concussion and I can't feel my legs at all. Can you move? Amanda asked. Just one arm and not all that much, Travis replied. I'm tasting blood. What? Something hit the side of my face and I can taste blood. My body feels cold. I have to get out of here. I can't fucking move. I need to move, Amanda cried out in frustration. The building pressed in on them. She stopped screaming and started hyperventilating again. Amanda, listen to me. I need you to slow your breathing down. You're in shock, honey. It's going to be all right. Help is on the way. We're getting out of this. She stayed silent. The sounds of muffled car alarms and barking dogs filtered through the rubble. Travis even thought he might have heard people. She went quiet and he became very worried. Baby, don't fall asleep. Amanda, wake up, please. I'm not asleep. I'm just really tired. I always thought after we got settled into our professions, we'd have kids, or at least one kid. Life is strange, she mused weakly. He could tell she was fading. He had to keep her awake. We still will. We're going to be okay. Listen, there are already people out there. They'll find us. I think there's an air pocket above our heads. I can't tell how big it is. The earth shook again, causing pain to shoot through Travis. He groaned. He heard the building rubble shift all around him. Another aftershock. Damn it. You okay? No, I didn't feel anything. I told you I'm paralyzed. I want you to listen to me. I want you to cremate me, put my ashes in the ocean, and move on with your life, she said, her voice only a foot behind him in the darkness, but also a mile away. Stop talking like that. You're not dying. What will we name our first kid? She didn't respond. Amanda, wake up, wake up. He started to fight the weight that rested on him. With great effort, he moved his arm, but in doing so, he could feel everything above him shift. Did you hear what I said? Amanda's voice came back weak and doom-filled. I want you to move on. You have to move on. You're a great husband, you know that? Amanda whispered. Travis could barely hear her. New sounds began to make their way down. Helicopters, sirens, search dogs, and rescuers. And you're a great wife. Listen, hear that? It's rescue. You have to keep awake, keep talking. Remember when we met? You fell in love with me weeks after we talked at school, but were too proud to admit it, he joked. No, that's not what happened. You loved me first. I saw it in your eyes when we had coffee the first time. I felt bad for you, she lied. A wet, gurgling cough erupted from her throat. Travis could hear people not far from them. Her fingers shifted on his side. We're here! We're still alive in here, he yelled. See, baby, they're close. Just hang on, he reassured. I need you to hear me, Travis. Don't give up. When you get out of here, live a life. Love again. We're getting out of here together, God damn it. Amanda, wake up, you hear me? Baby doll, you need to fight. He started coughing as the weight bore down. Yelling hurt his lungs. She didn't respond. Panic rushed through his heart. Amanda, wake up, please, wake up. Her fingers stopped moving on his side. No, baby, please, don't leave me. Please, I need you. Don't go, baby. I love you. No. Tears streamed down his dirt-caked face. He broke into a million pieces. His entire body felt numb. Why her? Why not him? She was the special one, the one with talent, the one that lit up a room. She was going to be a doctor helping kids. Why would God take her? Why the fuck would God take her instead of him? His nose and mouth filled with mucus and grime as he sobbed in a way he never had before. He took deep, mournful breaths and exhaled pure grief. In the darkness, alone, hearing people above just a few feet away, and he couldn't save her. His light, his reason for being. The darkness entered his very soul and took root. He was utterly alone and without hope. Time passed. How much? He wasn't sure. He had decided that he wasn't going to live without her. Maybe an aftershock would finish the job, or he could bite his tongue off and choke to death. It didn't matter. He just wanted it to be over. Suddenly, her fingers moved. "Amanda, baby, you okay? Jesus, I thought I lost you." Hope flooded in, pushing the dark thoughts aside. "You know what I love about you most? You're so good to me. I never had to clean up after you. When I'm at school, you bring me food. When I said I wanted to be a doctor, you believed in me. You're really special, baby," she said. Her voice was stronger. He smiled. "Thank you, God. Baby, I can't tell you what I love the most about you. Every day it changes. You're always so smart, so together. I'm a scatterbrained writer without you. Your smile lights the dawn every morning and your eyes hold the moon every night. I have never loved another person deeper and more fully than I love you," Travis admitted. "Even when I snore, even when I eat like a wild animal, even when I nervous laugh at very inappropriate times and it looks like I'm not taking things seriously," she asked. "Yes, all of those times, baby. God, remember when we were at my grandmother's funeral and you started laughing over the coffin? Yeah, your parents gave me a death glare. I'm glad they gave me a second chance. Me too. But what they think doesn't matter to me. I love you even when you put your cold-ass hands and feet on me in bed, which is a war crime, by the way." They laughed, then wheezed together. "How long do you think it will take them to find us?" she wondered. He was quiet for several minutes. She didn't press him for an answer. They could hear muffled sounds overhead now. There were dogs barking, people yelling, but he couldn't make out what they said. "Not sure, but they're right on top of us. We need to get their attention. I wish we had some light. I'm guessing there's a pocket above us? Do you think we have enough air?" She moved her fingers on his ribs. One rib felt broken. He kept it to himself, though. He didn't want her to stop moving. "I think so. I'm guessing the furniture kept the ceiling from burying us completely." "Try to move your arm more. You might be able to shimmy out into the opening. It's big enough," Amanda suggested. "I'm worried if I move too much it will bury us," he said. "It's worth the risk. I can't move at all. I might be bleeding internally. I need a doctor. If you can get free, you might be able to get their attention." "Okay, I'll do my best." He took his free hand and gently started to remove some of the wood and plaster from around his head. He could feel grit in his mouth and nose. Taking hold of the side of the mattress, he pulled as hard as he could and made it about an inch of pure pain. His legs felt like 1,000 needles pricked him and his ribs hurt like hell. "This is going to take some time," Travis admitted. "You can do it, baby. Just keep going, a little bit at a time." He reached up again and found the headboard 2 feet above him. He took hold and pulled with all his might. He felt his pinned arm wrestled free. He took a deep breath. "I freed my other hand. I've got hold of the headboard," he reported. "You're almost there," Amanda cheered on. "I felt your arm slide off. Do you have any room to move?" "No, I can move my hand, but my arm is still stuck." One last pull. That's all it would take. He could move his legs. He gripped the headboard and heaved hard, pulling himself up into a sitting position. He reached up and felt the ceiling right above his head. The pocket wasn't as large as he'd hoped. He'd been sucking in air for hours. Christ, he thought. Don't tell her. Hope was all they had, he figured, and he wasn't going to give up on it as long as she was alive. "Baby, I'm going to dig you out." He placed a hand on her head. "No, I could be paralyzed. It's better for you to not move me. Start trying to get people's attention. A paramedic needs to decide how to get me out. But what if I cause a cave-in? If I'm as hurt as I think, then time matters more than caution. You need to get out of here." "We need to get out of here," he corrected. "Right." He listened for a moment. The voices had to be nearby, but he still couldn't make out what they were saying. Carefully, he started removing debris from above him, hoping to God it didn't all come down on his head. After what must have been a long time, a beam of sunlight shined down through the arm-sized hole he'd created. "Are you staying awake over there?" he asked. "Yeah, I'm just trying to keep calm. How's the digging going?" "I hit sunshine, baby. I can get my arm through." He worked his hand up and out of the debris and started yelling. "Help! We need help! Help! Help us!" He felt a wet nose on his hand, then licking. The dog started to bark, getting the attention of the rescuers. "A dog found my hand. We're getting out of here." "Hello, sir. We're here. What's your status?" a man called down. Travis removed his arm from the hole to see his face. "My wife needs help right away. I think I have a broken rib," he yelled back. "Okay, hold tight." Travis could hear several people digging through the rubble. More and more light came in from the hole as it widened. He could now see just how much of the building was laying on his wife. "Jesus, honey." "Sir, move back a foot and we'll open the hole enough to get you out." "Okay, hurry, my wife is badly injured." He backed away and got as close to Amanda as possible. She didn't look well at all, very pale. She peered up at him with bloodshot eyes. He couldn't make out the blue anymore. His expression was grim. "I look that good?" she asked. He smiled. "You look great. I'm just worried, that's all." "I know, baby. It's going to be okay." "I love you so much," she reassured him. "I love you too. Now that they're coming to get us, I'm going to start uncovering you." "No, don't. Let the professionals handle it. I'm almost a doctor. I know what needs to happen next. You need to get out of here and get treated first while they work on me." They fell silent. He traced his finger over the lines on her forehead gently. Again, time seemed to float into irrelevance as he looked after her. The hole widened after what seemed like an eternity. The man put his hand in to help Travis get out. "Get going," she told him. Travis took the man's hand and was quickly moved away by a paramedic. "What's next?" "We're going to help you, and they're going to help your wife." The paramedic checked his wounds and wrapped a blanket around his shoulders. He stared at the pit they were creating to get to his wife. Suddenly, they stopped. One of the rescuers, a woman, crouched down. The others glanced at him with nervous faces. Finally, she stood up, placing the stethoscope back over her neck. She looked at him solemnly and approached. "My name is Tara. What's your name?" the paramedic asked. "Travis Wilkes. Is my wife okay? Is Amanda all right?" "I'm sorry, Travis. Your wife passed. There's a piece of metal that pierced her spine. She bled out hours ago." An EMT put his hand on Travis's shoulder. "No, that can't be. She was talking to me the whole time. She has to be okay," he argued. "I'm sorry. She's gone." Travis let out a horrible wail, falling to his knees. The light of his heart snuffed out for a second time in one day. Tragic. There is no other word for what poor Travis went through. Do you think her ghost gave him the strength to hold out for help, or that his mind pretended she was still alive? Be sure to tell us in the comments. If you like this Portents of Fear tale, consider joining our Patreon. There's a link in the description below. Want more horrific stories? Click on one of our other episodes on your screen now. Good night, Fearlings. Sleep well, if you can.